Sam Rivers was never the loudest man in the room, yet the world felt him more deeply than most who ever touched a stage. While Limp Bizkit became a global cultural explosion in the late 90s and early 2000s, the anthems, the controversy, the MTV chaos, Sam stood in quiet contrast, a still center in the storm. His face rarely filled magazine covers. He didn't chase headlines, but his bass lines were the pulse of an entire movement, felt in arenas, festivals, car stereos, and teenage bedrooms across the world. His sudden passing from cardiac arrest has left millions stunned, not merely because he is gone, but because he was always the kind of soul we foolishly assumed would always be there. He didn't need volume to be eternal. He just was. And now, in silence, the world finally hears what we often missed while he was alive. Sam Rivers was the kind of musician you only truly appreciate when you're paying close attention. And yet, paradoxically, even those who weren't paying attention were shaped by him. Born September 2nd, 1977, in Jacksonville, Florida, he co-founded Limp Bizkit as a teenager with his cousin, drummer John Otto, and frontman Fred Durst. What began as a Florida club act became one of the most defining forces of the nu metal era, not just a band, but a cultural flashpoint. Yet through every wild headline, every riotous festival moment, every polarizing public reaction, Sam remained calm, grounded, present, but never performative. His musical instincts were far beyond genre labels. Where Limp Bizkit was often dismissed as chaotic or abrasive, musicians, drummers, producers, funk and jazz players often singled out Sam as the reason it worked. He didn't play bass as a background instrument. He played it as foundation, oxygen, pulse. His lines weren't filler, they were character. He fused hip-hop rhythm, funk sensibility, and rock force into something that had its own signature fingerprint. The kind of sound you feel before you recognize, the kind that moves you before you understand it. And yet, ask anyone who met him, and they don't begin by talking about the music. They talk about his stillness, his softness, his kindness, how he made people feel safe, even in one of the loudest bands on earth. Sam battled private health challenges earlier in life, liver complications that once forced him to step away from touring, and many believe his return in recent years symbolized healing and revival. That's part of why his sudden death from cardiac arrest at just 48 has struck so hard. It didn't feel like the end of a legacy. It felt like the beginning of a second chapter. A quieter one, older, wiser, maybe even sacred in tone. He seemed like someone preparing to give more than he ever had before. Not in fame, but in soul. Today, fans from every generation, not just nu metal lifers, are pouring out messages not of hype, but of gratitude. You were the heartbeat. You were the calm in the chaos. You made heavy music feel human. There are frontmen. There are legends. There are spectacles. And then, once in a rare while, there is the anchor, the musician who didn't need to be seen because he was felt. Sam Rivers was that anchor. And every stage, every record, every memory sounds emptier now that he is gone.